4-9 down low. Duren wrapped up, fouled.
In the air, and men's holding him up, and there's going to be a lot of that, but frustration probably. And they might be out. I don't know if this was intentional, but he may be out. And again, Craig, it's only game 2.
Have you ever wanted to elbow somebody in their mouth like Jalen Jarrett did with Amen Thompson? Has somebody ever got on your doggone nerves? Maybe it's a coworker, maybe it's a family member, just somebody just irritating, and it pushes you to the brink. Well, maybe this video is for you. We are going to learn how to overcome anger. That's right, anger. Some of us have an anger problem. I got an anger problem. And if you got an anger problem, this video is for you. So I'm about to give you some tips. Let's go. All right, tip number 1. You must study your ops. Now, in football and basketball, it's called the scouting report. And that is when you study your opponents to find out what are their tendencies, what do they like to do, what they don't like to do. And a lot of us are caught up on anger issues because we have not scouted our ops. I'll give you a prime example from my life. There was a woman I worked with. Now, I didn't hate her or anything like that, but personality-wise, we were two different people, and I didn't like talking to her. I didn't want to have conversations with her, but she kept forcing herself on me. And when she forced herself on me, I would get upset because she would say things that would push my button. She would click, click, clack, push my trigger, and then I would fire off. And I noticed when she did that one time, she had a smirk on her face. And I said, wait a minute. She's doing this intentionally. She's intentionally trying to get me upset. And so what I did was, when she started doing that, I started studying her, and I did not respond to her little tricks because I knew what she was trying to do. I would give her short answers. Sometimes I'll be talking to somebody and she try to interrupt the conversation. I would straight up ignore her. And guess what? I stopped getting angry. Why? Because I studied my opponents. You must study your ops. Another one of my triggers, y'all, are unfunny people with the satire. Oh man, these people get on my doggone nerves. They always close at the end. I was just playing with you. I was just joking with you. I can't tell you're not funny. See, when you're funny, even if you sound dead serious, you should be able to detect the satire because you're good at it. Some people are not good at being funny, and they try to make jokes anyway, and you start ticking people off. Like nobody, you make these jokes, nobody in the room laughs. Sometimes it's so pathetic, you got to laugh at your jokes. So, with these kind of people, once again, you have to study your opponents. You got to know, okay, this person, even though they might sound serious, even though what they say might be mean, I'm just going to take it. That's their personality. And I'm going to let it go. Because I'm studying my opponents, you unfunny person. All right, another type of person is a negativity highlighter. Right here, we got a picture of Joe Budden with his worker, Flip. And one of the things he says on the Joe Budden podcast, Flip, is he calls his boss a negativity highlighter. I love that phrase, negativity highlighter. You always giving criticism to people, and you don't highlight anything positive they do. You ever work with somebody like that? You ever been around somebody like that? I have. I had a boss one time. All she did was point out the negatives. Like, I don't do anything right. You don't see the other things I do. You just want to point out the negative. And we did not get along until the very end when we started getting along a little bit. But she was a negativity highlighter, y'all. And you got to realize with some people like that, they have a warped thinking. Their mind and their thinking is messed up. They don't see you in reality. They see you in negativity because they're negativity highlighters. So how you deal with somebody like that? You have to know that, hey, this person is warped. Their mindset is messed up. The way they see you is not reality. Now, you might have to deal with it if you're in a work situation unless you find some other job. But you got to know, hey, this person, they just going to see me. They're going to criticize me. They're going to talk mean to me, all of that. I have to know that, and I'm not going to allow myself to get upset because they crazy. Because their mind is warped, and they not seeing you in reality. So with negativity highlighters, you got to let it go. You got to say, hey, that person, they think there's something wrong with them. But I'm not going to let whatever is wrong with them affect how I view myself. Because it can be hurtful. I'm not going to sit up here and lie to you. It can be hurtful when somebody just constantly negative to you. It can be hurtful. But you got to say, hey, that's their problem, not mine. All right, revenge. A lot of us want revenge. Why? Because God created us to love justice. We want to be done right. And if we aren't done right, we want to make sure that that person who hurt us gets hurt too. Right? Perfect picture. Kill Bill. She got her revenge, right? Killing everybody. And that's how we are. We want revenge. We want to hurt people. But guess what? When you have that mindset, the problem is you're constantly thinking of revenge. You're constantly thinking about how you're going to pay that person back. How can I be petty back? How can they hurt me like I hurt them? Can't be that way. The way you got to be is to let go of your bitterness. Let go of your anger. Have a heart that's willing to let it go. Because if you don't, your reality is going to be constantly thinking about revenge. And you're not living in reality. You got to be able to let it go and take that L. Ooh. Y'all don't like to hear that. You don't like to lose. But guess what? In sports, sometimes you got to lose. Sometimes you got to let go. Sometimes things are not going to be right. We don't live in a world where everything is going to be right, where everything is going to go right for us. Sometimes we have to learn how to take that L, take that loss, and be able to go on. Because if you don't, you're going to constantly try to win. You're going to constantly try to get that revenge. It is going to destroy your life. It's going to destroy your mentality. Might lead to some physical diseases. You got to let it go, y'all. You got to let go of the revenge.
I don't always do the right thing. And I ask you to forgive me. Because I need you here with me. Without you in my life, it's empty. I think back how some people did me like violence was the remedy. And because I think of them now, I will pray for my enemy. It's not because of what I'll do, but because they don't know. There's something better after here, but everybody won't go.
That was the late, great DMX. And he is telling the truth right there, y'all. You got to pray for your enemies. Why? Because they don't know. They in it. Your enemies are in it, as my man John Witherspoon would say. And we got to pray for them, man. Those who have hurt you. Those who have done you wrong. Those who are evil. You got to pray for your enemy because they don't know. And there's a life after this, and they won't go, as DMX said. So y'all, you got to overcome your anger. You got to know your ops. You got to know your enemy. You got to know their personality and know how to respond to let it go. And when you let it go, you let go of anger, your life will be free. You won't be constantly thinking about how can I be petty? How can I get revenge? Constantly keeping them on your mind, ruling your life. You don't want that. You want to live a life that's free. And you can't do that when you holding on to anger and bitterness. So that is my thoughts on this. Love to hear yours. This is Proceed with Cause the Blog. Skip Bayless Suts, and I'm out.